Okay, so to make this little dog, we're gonna need some orange yarn, some yellow yarn, some stuffing, stitch markers, a tapestry needle. I think these are 2mm eyes, safety eyes or snap-on eyes. In my case, I'm using two different hooks. I'm gonna be using a 2mm hook for the peak and a 3mm hook for the body of a little dog, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. So we're gonna start first with the body of a little dog. We're gonna use the yellow yarn and or bigger hook, in my case a 3mm one. Make sure you got your stitch markers handy. So now we're gonna start by doing a magic circle first. Once we got a magic circle, we're gonna work 6 single crochets on it. Now that I got my 6 single crochets on my magic circle, I might pull a little bit. Not all the way, because then it's gonna tighten up all the stitches and then it's gonna be hard. And for the next round, we're gonna start increasing around. So that means we're gonna start placing 2 single crochets into each stitch. So we're gonna have a total of 12 stitches by the end of the second round. One, and I'll place my stitch marker here. Now that we got our 12 stitches, we can fasten off, we can pull all the way the tail of a magic circle to tighten up. And now we're gonna start working into the next round. We're gonna be increasing from 12 to 18. So we're gonna be placing an increase every other stitch. So I'm gonna work a single crochet here, first stitch, only one, and now we're gonna work an increase into this next stitch. Okay, so now that we've finished this round, we're gonna move into the next round. We're gonna be increasing from 18 to 24. So now we're gonna be doing an increase every 2 stitches. But we're gonna start by doing 1 single crochet into this first stitch. And now an increase into the next one. So 1, 2, and now 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets onto different stitches. And now on this next one, we're going to do an increase. And we're going to keep doing that. And we should finish this round. So on this stitch, we should only be able to place 1 single crochet. So that way they're all evenly spread across the round. Okay, so for next round, we're going to increase once again. We're going to be increasing every 3 stitches. But now we're going to start by placing the increase onto this first stitch of the next round. So we're going to do 1 and So we're going to increase from 24 to 30, and now we're going to place a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So I got my increase here, these 2, and then 1, 2, and 3, and now I'm going to place another increase into the next one. Okay, so now that we've increased to 30, we're going to increase 1 last time. And we're going to increase from 30 to 36. So we'll be increasing every 4 stitches. So we're going to start by placing a single crochet into the first 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And now I'm going to place my stitch mark into my first stitch of this round. There. And now we're going to place an increase into the next one. And now again 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we should finish this round with just these 2 last stitches. Should be 2 single crochets, 1 into each stitch. So that way, again, the increases are spread evenly across the work. Okay, so now that we've increased to 36, we're gonna keep the same stitch count, so 36 for the next 4 rounds. So we're just gonna be doing 1 single crochet every stitch. Make sure you keep the same amount of stitches, 36. And I'll see you once I have my 4 rounds done. Okay, so now I just finished my 3 rounds. Now we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna count 20 stitches from here on. So I'm gonna pull a little bit and count 20 stitches. So now I'm gonna mark it and double check that it's 20 stitches. Got a slip stitch right here. Oops. And we're gonna have one side with 16 stitches without counting the chain, and the other one with 20. So we're gonna flip our work, and we're gonna start working on the one that's got 16, and we're gonna do a round of single crochet. So this is the stitch one, which is slip stitch. We're gonna go into the next one, and we're gonna work a single crochet, and we're gonna keep working single crochets that way. Let me just place a stitch marker there. We're gonna keep working single crochets around. Now on here, when we reach the chain, we're gonna work a decrease. Now in here, we're gonna be working a decrease before we get to chain. We're just gonna go into the first front loops and work decrease. And now we've reached the chain. We're gonna go only 1 loop. I'm gonna place a single crochet. onto each chain. Now for the next round, we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to place a single crochet into this first stitch for next round. We're going to start decreasing every other stitch. So just place one. And now we do a decrease into the next one. So one single crochet and a decrease. And now another single crochet and another decrease. And now that we've done this round, we're going to do a round of just single crochets. Just decrease to 12, so we should have 12 stitches. Oops. This way, and now we're gonna decrease around. So we're gonna go from 12 to 6. So we're gonna be just doing decreases all around it. This way, and now we're gonna do 2 more decreases. This way. Now once we've done, we're just gonna chain 1 and pull. And we're just gonna cut. Like this. Bring it. So this is gonna be a little tail of our dog. Now we're just gonna decrease this a little bit. This is gonna be where the head of the little dog is gonna be attached to. So we're just gonna tie a simple knot, slip knot, and we're gonna go into one of these holes where we used the union on the corner, and we're just gonna join our yarn there. And we're gonna do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, we're gonna do an increase on a 7th stitch here, and now 5 single crochets, and we're going to do an increase again, and now 6 single crochets. Now single crochet into the chains. One, two, three. This way. And now we're gonna start decreasing. So we're gonna go into this first one single crochet for next round, one single crochet there, and we're gonna decrease every 2 stitches. One decrease, now 2 single crochets. So now for our next round, we're going to be decreasing every other stitch. So I'll move my stitch marker, work 1 single crochet, and now we're going to do a decrease to the next 2 stitches, and now another single crochet, and so on. This way. And once we're done with this round, we're gonna chain 1 and pull, and now we're just gonna cut and pull through, and this would be the body of our little duck. You can stuff it now. When you join the chain, probably make sure your slip stitch is very tight, because you can see now here I made a mistake and I didn't tie up enough, and it's a little bit loose there. So yeah, make sure when you do your slip stitch that is very tight. Okay, so now we're gonna start working on the head. For that, we're gonna grab our yarn. We're gonna do a magic circle. This way. We're gonna work 6 single crochets on it. And we're gonna do the increases around. So from 6 we're gonna go to 12. So I'm gonna just do 1 here and place my stitch marker into this first stitch I just did. And now another one. Now for the next one, we're going to be increasing every other stitch. So we're going to increase from 12 to 18. So now we're going to place 1 single crochet into this first stitch. And now 2 into the next one. we're going to increase once again, now every 2 stitches. So I'm just going to go into this first one, and just do 1 single crochet. Now we do the increase. Now we do 2 single crochets, now we're gonna do another increase every 3 stitches. So now we're gonna start working on the increase on this first stitch. So we're gonna do 1 and 2, and now we're gonna place stitch mark into the first one, and now 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. Now we're going to do our last increase, and it's going to be every 4 stitches. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and now another one, and now the increase, and now 4 single crochets into the next 4 stitches. Now we should have increased to 36, so we should have 36 stitches, and we're gonna do 4 rounds, keeping the same amount of stitches. So we're gonna just be doing 1 single crochet into each stitch. So I just did a single crochet. I'm gonna leave my stitch marker here, and I'm gonna crochet over it so I can count my rounds. We're gonna do 4 rounds of 36, and then we'll start with our decreases. So I'll see you once I have my 4 rounds done. Okay, so now that we've done our 4 rounds, we're gonna start working on decreases. We can move a stitch marker here, and this is how it should be looking. So now we're gonna start decreasing every 4 stitches. So I'll count this single crochet as my first stitch, place my stitch marker there, do another single crochet, so 2 single crochets at the start, and now we're going to decrease from loops only. That's 1 decrease. Now we're gonna do 4 single crochets into the next 4 stitches, and decrease again. Now we're going to be decreasing every 3 stitches for the next round. So now we're going to start by doing the decrease first. Now 3 stitches of single crochet, and decreases again. And we're going to be decreasing every 2 stitches. So I'm going to just do 1, and now the decrease, and now 2 stitches of single crochet, And now we start working on the face. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our orange yarn and we're gonna start working on the peak. We're gonna do a switch from the 3mm hook to this 2mm hook, the smaller one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by doing normal knot, and we're gonna go with our hook. And we're gonna do a chain of 5. Once we got our chain of 5, we're gonna skip the first chain. We're gonna go into the second chain, both loops. And we're gonna do a single crochet. And we're gonna go into the next one. This way. And once we've done the single crochets, we're gonna chain 1, turn our work, and we're gonna work a decrease in here, only 1, and the next 2 stitches. This way. So now we got that, and now I'm gonna work a single crochet into this one. And now chain 1. This is why we got our little pig for our little dog that we're going to be attaching. So now we're going to start stuffing the head a little bit. We're going to go for our little eyes. And start placing them. And now the little pig is gonna go there. Yeah, that's perfect. And the little pig So now we're gonna go with a tapestry needle and a little string of the yellow yarn. Just gonna aim there. This way. And with the tapestry needle, we're gonna weft in these ends. Not weft in, just tuck it in. There's one. And for the little ones, what it is. Okay. So now we're gonna go again with our hook, and we're gonna decrease once again. Gonna go every other stitch, so I just did the first single crochet, and now I'll do decrease, now another single crochet, now just pull through. And we're done. So now we just gotta attach the body to a little dot. And now on the body, I'm gonna go and do this all the way around it. And then we're just going to pull a little bit. And now we can join it. So what I do is I use a little stitch marker and clip the front of their heads. So now make sure they are straight. This way. And now on this one, I'm not going to do the twisting that I did. I'm just going to do this. Just so this the chain one gets tucked in a little bit. Now that we've joined it, it should be looking a little bit like this. We're just going to knot this. Cut. And then with tapestry needle, there. This. But this is the end result for a little dog. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to get more little simple patterns like this one, make sure to subscribe and like this video because I'm going to be posting a lot more. Bye, see you next week.